Hello everyone, welcome back to my $5,000 house. And for those of you who've been following along for a while, you know that we've taken what has been basically a burner downer. Some people ask me, why in the world would you ever remodel that instead of tearing it down and starting from scratch? And the simple answer is, a lot of times there's good bones to work with. When we tear something like this apart down to the bare structure, a lot of times, like for example in the instance of this house, we had probably $15,000 to $20,000 worth of structure sitting here that we had to start from scratch. And then you have the additional issues with more permitting. In my particular area, when you do something like that, you have to completely upgrade all of the sewer system to a new sewer system. So rather than use the existing septic system that was here, it would cost an additional $6,000. And when you start looking at that, it really makes it not worth it. But that's kind of why I look for these kind of properties, the rundown properties, the things that nobody else wants. And I guess the reason I'm making this particular video is hopefully it could be a little bit of inspiration to somebody else who doesn't know where to start. If you have a little bit of drive, some knowledge in construction, you can certainly duplicate what I'm doing here. There's no big secret. The properties are available. In fact, I don't know if I bought another house. I'll just go out and say it. I did buy another house. It may or may not be. I may not have disclosed it already in this video or another video already, but I did. I bought another house, a brick house, for $6,000, and anybody could have bought it, but as it so happened, I ended up buying it. But this particular house that I purchased, it just like this one, it's in dire need of some help, but it's brick. So there's a lot to work with there. We'll start with a new roof, new windows, new doors. We'll get on the inside. We'll have a new electric service put in. We'll investigate the septic tank, the water. Bottom line is, even if I have $30,000 to $40,000 in that property when I'm done, the market value on that house, according to Realtor.com, is about $75,000. So even though I'm not necessarily interested in selling the property, having the property available and then renting the property provides a source of income that I can use to purchase additional properties or to renovate properties. Now, a lot of people are not interested necessarily in getting in the rental aspect of real estate, and that's okay. But what I would say is, for those people, rather than try and manage that yourself, that you should look for a quality management agency. Most management agencies charge anywhere from 8% to 12% of the monthly rent, and it's in their best interest to make sure that the property is rented on a, that stays rented. So they're going to ensure that it's rented at the highest market rate that it will withstand. They're going to make sure that any tenant that doesn't pay rent gets evicted when they need to be. They're going to manage all of collection of rent. Generally, they manage repairs on the property, and they'll manage showing the property, cleaning it, anything else that needs to be taken care of. So that is especially good for those who really want to be kind of a hands-off property owner. And that's something that anybody can do if you're just motivated enough to go and find a piece of property and get it renovated and ready to go to market with. Now, this particular piece of property, when I looked at it, initially I passed it over simply because there were other properties that were available in my area that were more appealing. And once the market sort of dried up, amazingly this one was still available, and it became cheaper simply because the owner didn't want to be bothered with it. There was additional problems. So if you look at the first video and you realize that when I bought it, it was like, here's the deal, it's $5,000, take it or leave it. So I said, well, sight unseen, let's go ahead and jump on it. We'll make something out of it. So we ended up making lemonade out of our lemons here. It's been sort of a nice little, I guess, it's been a nice adventure. And I'm going to go ahead and take you on a little tour of where we're at right now. But we're getting ready to put our flooring in. And I don't know if this video is going to come out before the flooring video or after, but it doesn't matter. These are just some musings and thoughts that I've got that I felt like maybe that might help somebody who is interested in the whole process and what goes on in our, or at least my thinking into why I might purchase a piece of property and renovate it. I don't want to sit here and bore you to death talking. Probably half of you have probably already clicked out, and that's okay. Let's go ahead and do a real quick walkthrough, and we'll show you where we're at. All right, we're standing in the living room. This is the living room with, it's actually a living room / dining room area. You can see behind me, there's the dining room light. It's a little chandelier. It's not real fancy, but it's functional. A small dining room table can go here, eat-in dining area. It's a pretty big kitchen though. I'm gonna kind of give you a 360 here. There's the new back door we just put in behind me there. And if you notice, let's see here. Here's our new kitchen. Now these the kitchen cabinets haven't been stained yet, but There's our new kitchen. And that's our door to our pantry. Let's go take a look at the pantry. We don't have any shelves in here yet. We don't have hardware on our doors, but that's okay. We can still look in here. Let's get the light turned on. There's our light. There's our on-demand water heater. Those are really cool. They take up almost no space, and you have unlimited hot water. Some people don't like them. Some people complain that they run their electric bill up. Some people complain that they don't get hot water. I've been using that particular model in my own house now for probably 10 years, and I love it. I wouldn't go back to a tank water heater for anything. Okay, now we're in the living room. Oh, you see the beam up there. We've not wrapped that yet. We're going to go ahead and wrap that beam with some nice clear pine, and we're going to stain it to the same as our cabinets. It'll be a little bit different look because our cabinets are oak and the beam's going to be pine, but oak is so much more expensive than pine, so we'll just we're gonna do the cheap route out, but still it'll look good. There's our front door. Okay, come back in here into our hallway. Make sure I don't run into anything. Okay, here's our hall bath. This is the second bath that we added. If you remember, this house was only a 2-bedroom, 1 bath, and now we have a 3-bedroom, 2 bath. Now this bathroom, you notice it looks like the ceilings are a little low, and they are. This house only had 7-foot ceilings, and we went cathedral throughout, but the bathroom still has just 7-foot ceilings. Both of the bathrooms do, but let's see if we get a picture. All right, there's our vanity, there's our faucet and our toilets set. We don't have the, we got to do some work on the vanity yet. As it works out, the wall's a little out of square, so we're going to have to do a little bit of work on that. Unlike a laminate countertop, this is a cultured marble. You can't really, you can't. It doesn't cut and fit the wall. So we've got to work something out with that. We're not sure what we're going to do yet. All right, we're going to walk. Okay, this is one of our 3 bedrooms. This originally was the dining room. We added the closet here. Again, we don't have shelves and stuff in it. We don't have our ceiling fans in here yet either. I've been looking for ceiling fans, and of course, me being, the miser, I guess, I haven't found an appropriate ceiling fan that I like, that is reasonable in price. I just, for whatever reason, I can't bring myself to spend the $150 for a ceiling fan for a rental property. This is the back bedroom. Same thing here. You'll notice that it's also cathedral. This was where the kitchen was at. Where this back window is here, there was a small window here about the size of this top pane. It was like a 3x3. And then on this wall over here, there was a double 3x3 window that looked out on the neighbor's house. Now the neighbor is probably 12 feet away. The house is that close on that side. It's probably one of the least attractive things of this particular property, but it's not a deal breaker. Now here's the master. You'll notice that this is one of the things here It's kind of a flat ceiling. It's 7 foot along the back, and this is the compromise that we had. We couldn't do a cathedral there because this was an addition that was added. Originally it was only 6 foot, but we couldn't do 8 foot because of the way the roof come together. So 7 foot was the compromise. That's where the original window was at. And this was the second bedroom. It wasn't the master bedroom. This was actually the second bedroom. Master closet. It didn't have a walk-in closet. In fact, this didn't have a closet at all in this room. It just had a built-in shelf over here on this side where the door is at that we took out. Master closet. It's about 4 by 5, I guess. It's pretty big. And we'll come in here to the master bath. And here we go. The master bath is actually pretty big. This is where the bath was at, the only bath that was in the house. Here again, it's only got 7 foot ceilings like it was originally. But you see if we get a little better shot here. There's the vanity, and then the toilet's down here. And then you swing around here, tub and shower. Yeah, there we go. There's the 3-handle faucet, shower head. You don't have to go with the most expensive fixtures either when you're doing properties like this. If you're doing something for yourself, I would say do what makes you happy. Even then, you want to do a rental property. Still, do what makes you happy, because ultimately it's your property. You're going to own it. But all right, let's go ahead and walk out the front here. Now, you'll notice that we don't have any roof on our deck here. I just haven't purchased that yet. It's one of those things I just really can't bring myself to pay the kind of money that the box stores want for the metal. I can't order the metal for the price that I want to order it for. And I'm not being cheap. It's just that they have a price of the metal, which is about 1/3 of what the box stores want for it. And knowing that I can buy it for that, I just don't see myself paying 3 times the price at Lowe's or Home Depot or one of those places. But at any rate, now that I've bought this other house that does definitely need a new roof on it, I'm going to be putting metal on that whole house. So I'll just go ahead and add this metal to it, and I'll have metal for this, and we'll be able to finish this up. But originally, let's see if I can get you where originally this deck started at the corner of the house. Okay, you can see there at the corner. That's where it originally started. But where this post is now, that was actually out another 3 feet, and it was almost out to this big cedar tree here, and it rather than buy all new lumber for the front deck, I opted to instead take the good lumber that was on the deck, cut it back to the 8 feet, and the drop off, I just, that was all rotten or bad. That got thrown away, and we salvaged everything else and rebuilt the deck. We raised it up so that we didn't have a big step up into the house as well. Now the original deck stopped, if you can see, here, about where the light is at, that's about where the original deck stopped. And then we went ahead and extended it out because we moved the door down. So we extended the deck down about 8 feet down, and so now the deck is actually much bigger than what it was originally. I keep putting my thumb in front of the camera, but the deck is much bigger, it's much nicer, and well, I think it's much nicer anyway. I wouldn't have done it this way did I not think it was nicer. Let's take a step around the outside of the house here. We'll go down. Alright, you can see here's the side of the house. Still got a little bit of painting to do, a little bit of touch up to do. Still got some bad wood right there I've got to replace. We'll end up catching all that stuff on like a, we'll end up doing a punch list, I guess, on the house. I think it's kind of interesting. This house did have gas in it when I bought the house. It was a gas meter here. I left for a long weekend. We had went off on a weekend trip, came back, and lo and behold, the city had came and took the gas meter out, which is fine because if you watched one of my earlier videos, you'll find out that I don't like gas appliances in my rental units. But it saved me from having to call them, and because they did it on their own, I didn't get billed for the service call, so I'm happy about that. That was going to be about $350 for them to come take it out. So that saved me a little bit of money there, and I'm happy about that. Get around here to the back, and it doesn't look like much, but if you look at the original, you'll see that everything is nice and straight here. Even though the material looks like it's worn, it's because it is. We actually ended up taking this material off of the barn and we reutilized it here on the back of the house. And for those of you who watched the earlier videos, you'll remember that this part was sunk down and it was all wavy. We ended up jacking it all up to level it up as best as we could. Let's get on over here. Still got these elephant ears, or whatever you call them. Means it's kind of wet, but something I have to deal with. HVAC. Still got to get the air conditioning guy out here to do the final tune up on that. Let's see, we'll get around here to this side of the house. And on this side of the house, there was originally the 2 windows here, because this is where the dining or kitchen was. There was 2 windows here that I was telling you about. There was also a door here, and if you look, you can see up here, there's a little bit of stuff up on this wall here that where the roof was originally attached. There was a little stoop coming out. But there was a door here going into the house that has been covered up, and this is the siding that we had to manufacture because, you know, again, I didn't want to pay $40 for a board when I could make the same stuff for about $12 a board. So that that right there saved a bunch of money as well. And then we're back around to the front of the house. All told, the house is about 1,100 square feet, and we went from a 2-bedroom 1-bath to a 3-bedroom 2-bath, and that has increased the marketability of the house significantly. Not only has it increased the marketability, it has also made the desirability of the house and the value of the house to potential renters so much more. Even though this is not the best neighborhood in the world, it's on kind of on the edge of a marginal neighborhood. This house will have a market value of about $1,000 a month, and that's more actually than what my anticipated goal was when we purchased this. I had actually my goal was about 800. So if we can get close to 1,000, that would be a tremendous. Yeah, that'd be great. But anyway, I think I've bored you quite enough, and this video is already way too long. But if you like what you see, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share this around if you don't mind. Tell other people to come in and watch the video and subscribe. Maybe they'll see something they like. Maybe they might pick up a little pointer or two. Sometimes I don't describe everything in the greatest detail, but I'm always willing to answer questions if anybody has any questions. And on that note, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments section below, and I'll do my best to answer them. You have a great day, and we'll see you next time.